How's it going, everyone? As we are coming up on the first year of the PlayStation 5, I want to take a look and compare the PlayStation 4's first year and the PlayStation 5's first year. I know that a lot of people, myself included, have been of the mindset that if you don't have a PlayStation 5 right now, not the end of the world. You know, there's not a lot of system-selling titles, and a lot of the games are still available on PlayStation 4. Now, I've also been of the mindset that if you're the kind of person that wants to start playing these games at 60 frames per second and better visuals, then the PlayStation 5 is absolutely worth the purchase if you don't want to go the gaming PC route. That's probably the biggest seller to me of the PlayStation 5 right now, rather than any individual game. However, it does beg the question, how does the PlayStation 5's year one of lineup in terms of game releases compare to the PlayStation 4? And let's talk about that. Remember, the PlayStation 4 was released in November of 2013, so we're going to look at November of 2013 to November of 2014, and what you'll notice is, especially if you look at the 2014 releases, the PlayStation 4 is definitely more top-heavy. We're going to look at Metacritic scores just so I guess we'll have a bit of objectivity instead of me giving my own opinion, but you'll notice if you just look at scores that the PlayStation 4 has more top-scored games in its first year. However, there's a caveat to that. A lot of those games are just straight up remasters, and I wouldn't even say that unlike PlayStation 5 with upgrading the frame rate, these remasters weren't even anything blow away, maybe a resolution bump or something like that, and obviously with the Demon's Souls remake, that's something else entirely different. But let's look at some of the top rated games. Grand Theft Auto 5 is by far number one, a 97. Last of Us Remastered, okay, 95, great game. You know, it's another remaster. Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition, another remaster. Rayman Legends, another remaster. And then you've got Fez. By the way, Last of Us was at a 95. Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition, 90. Rayman Legends, 90. Fez, a 90. Dragon Age Inquisition was a solid offering. That was a cross-gen title, but solid offering there at an 89. You'll notice a lot of downloadable titles and smaller scale games. Minecraft PS4, 89. Binding of Isaac Rebirth, 88. Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition, 87. Towerfall Ascension, Velocity 2X, Final Fantasy 14 Online: A Realm Reborn, Rogue Legacy, which was a nice offering. Far Cry 4 was November of 2014. Tomb Raider Definitive Edition is there as well, which was from 2013 but later remastered for the PlayStation 4. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, Guilty Gear Xrd Sign. So very reminiscent of what's going on with the PlayStation 5 right now, with a lot of cross-generation games and the fact that a lot of remasters and whatever the case may be on that. Also from 2013, you had releases like Battlefield 4, Resogun, Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. You know, obviously I would put like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag above Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but I think there would be a variety of different opinions on that. And AC4 Black Flag actually only has an 83 on Metacritic. That's shocking to me. I did not know that. Put that well above an 83, in my personal opinion. NFS Rivals, Call of Duty Ghosts, Killzone Shadowfall was that star game of the launch lineup of the PlayStation 4. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't think that highly of it. I thought the multiplayer was very lackluster. It sits at a 73 on Metacritic. I really enjoyed the single-player component, and obviously as far as technically showcasing the PlayStation 4, one of the best showcases that you can find on the PS4 on launch day. It was tremendous to look at. However, I do agree, and this is coming from a gigantic Killzone fan. If you guys have watched our videos, you know that I've been clamoring for a Killzone 2 remake, remaster, Killzone trilogy, whatever the case may be on that. But yeah, Shadowfall definitely a lackluster PS4 release. So really, when you look at year one, obviously also Infamous Second Son was a major release. That was seen as like the weakest of the Infamous games, but I still really enjoyed it. That has an 80, and then Until Dawn as well, and then Little Big Planet 3, another game that was a cross-generation release. So definitely this cross-generation release structure was not exclusive to the PlayStation 5. However, it is just persisting a little bit longer with the games into the year 2 cycle of the console also being on the PlayStation 4, because by 2015, year 2 of the PlayStation 4, you weren't looking at cross-gen games for the most part with the PS4 exclusives, like the Bloodbornes of the worlds, the Order 1886s of the worlds. Those were not cross-gen titles. They were done exclusively for the PS4. So that is a minor difference when it comes to the PlayStation 4 versus the PlayStation 5. That's obviously heading into the future with the PS5, that these cross-gen experiences are going to persist a little bit longer. When you look at the PlayStation 5 offerings, Hades is the #1 released game at a 93 on Metacritic. Okay, that's been out for a while. Nice release, but I'm not really going to count that as a top-level release. Demon's Souls, on the other hand, I will count as a top-level release. A 92 on Metacritic, yes, it's a remake, but it's a full-on remake. It's not a remastering. This game was completely redone for the PlayStation 5. Yes, it harkens back to the structure of Demon's Souls on the PlayStation 3, but it's a full-on remake, so that is definitely a top-level release to me. Borderlands 3 somehow has a 91. I don't know what that's about, but okay. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, again, another remaster, not really going to count that. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, yeah, you get an extra episode, but does that really count? Probably not. Disco Elysium, the final cut, cross-gen release. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, yeah, some additional content, but again, it is a cross-generational release. It Takes Two, again, it is what it is. Deathloop, you could consider that to be a system seller to an extent. I wasn't, like, that excited for the game, but it was received really well, and a lot of people did really enjoy it, so that was a higher-end release. Obviously, it was a timed exclusive. Arcane Studios, Bethesda will ultimately be coming to Xbox as well, so it wasn't really an exclusive, but nevertheless, there you have it there. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, I would say, along with Demon's Souls Remake, are the two top-level system sellers on the PlayStation 5. True exclusives, and when you compare it to the PlayStation 4 offerings, what were the true exclusives on the PlayStation 4 that were system sellers? Probably Infamous Second Son. You can kind of throw Killzone Shadowfall in there. I mean, like, going into the release of Shadowfall, that was a system seller for some people. And then, like, Until Dawn, if you really look at the PS4's exclusive offerings, I know in retrospect, the PS4 is seen as this bastion of great first-party experiences, but early on, it was a little bit dicey. Make no bones about it. It was dicey for the PS4 for a little bit. It wasn't getting a lot of top-level true exclusives. And yeah, you had Little Big Planet 3 in there as well. But again, that was a cross-generation release. So, like, Little Big Planet 3 is like the equivalent of a Miles Morales being released. Although LBP 3 was a true full game. Miles Morales more of a standalone expansion, but you get the idea. It's not like the PlayStation 4 had this bevy of top-level exclusives year one. That wasn't the case at all. Really, that begun, I would say, year 2 with Bloodborne. Definitely Bloodborne was a system seller, and then 2016 with Uncharted 4 really kicked off the yearly great PlayStation 4 game releases. Like, after Uncharted 4, then you got what's it called? You got Horizon Zero Dawn, then you got God of War, Spider-Man, and then you saw the consistent trickling in of the PS4 top-level exclusives and the top-level games in general, but that really wasn't the case in the first 2 years, and generally speaking, that is true for the majority of consoles, in that you don't see the top games right out of the gate. Now, in the case of the PlayStation 3, year 1, you did see Uncharted Drake's Fortune, you did see Ratchet & Clank Tools of Destruction, and those two games, I would say, are top level. In the case of PlayStation 2, in my recollection, year 1 was just nuts for the PlayStation 2, so let's not even talk about that. PlayStation 2 was on another level in retrospect, but generally speaking, that first year, maybe 16 months of a console's life, you don't see a lot of top-level games, and what you'll notice is a lot of these games, yeah, they're pretty good. In the case of Infamous Second Son, in the case of, you know, Until Dawn, I would say is pretty good. On the PS5 side of things, I think we're doing better than the PlayStation 4. Demon's Souls Remake, Ratchet & Clank, Returnal was a bit iffy. Like, I liked it, a lot of people didn't like it, and I can definitely understand why, but outside of that, both platforms had this bevy of cross-generational releases. You had games like Last of Us Remastered on PS4, then you had like Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut on PS5. I think it's relatively comparable, and I would actually put the PlayStation 5 year 1 comparison against the PlayStation 4. I would say the PlayStation 5 is doing better. Yes, if you just look at the numbers, the PS4 from a Metacritic standpoint is more top-heavy, but again, those top games, you're talking GTA 5, Last of Us Remastered, Diablo 3 Ultimate, even Evil Edition, Rayman Legends, a lot of ports, a lot of remasters, and we're seeing that on the PS5 as well. Don't get me wrong, we're getting a ton of remakes and remasters, but when you take those out and just compare, you know, apples to apples, so to speak, I think the PS5 is well ahead at this stage of the game. Maybe they won't have as big of a finishing period, but based on what we know, 2023, we got Marvel Spider-Man 2, 2022, we have a lot of games that's cross-gen. I think the narrative can change a little bit when we talk about 2022, because 2022, people can always point to, hey, these games are available on the PlayStation 4 as well. PlayStation 5 doesn't have any real exclusives. And then when you compare 2022 to 2015 on the PlayStation 4, yeah, we might be talking a different story then, because you can harken back to those games being cross-gen versus 2015 PS4 releases being true exclusives like Bloodborne. I mean, Order 1886 wasn't that great, but I was a fan of Order 1886. Not at $60, but at $5 on the PlayStation Store. Oh yeah, I enjoyed me some Order 1886. Sorry about this video being a bit jumbled. I tried to do it as, like, competently as I could. I think you guys are getting what I'm saying, though. Again, PS4 and PS5, very similar story year one in the sense of re-releases, remasters. Demon's Souls, on the other hand, was a full-on remake, so I count that as a new game. And then, again, I would say the PlayStation 5 at this point is doing better. Maybe that's because of the influence of Insomniac Games with Miles Morales and Ratchet & Clank coming from them, so they've definitely lifted up PS5's offerings on paper, but we'll see how the rest of the year turns out and the rest of the generation, truly. But I think PlayStation is in a good spot to at least do better than the PlayStation 4. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Interested to hear what you guys think. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.